Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? How you all doing today? Shout out to each and every one. Shout out to all the people who trying to grow something. Shout out to the people who interested in learning. Shout out to each and every one of you guys. But this live gonna be pretty short. But this live is about, preparing low budget food forests. Many people have these kind of resources on their property, but they don't use them. They don't, because of the way we was brought up. We believe that everything we need, we got to run to the store. And many times we have the resources right in our backyard and we don't even know. If you notice on the ground right here, you're gonna see there's a lot of leaf on the ground. There's a lot of cover crop coming in at this moment. And what I'm actually doing, I'm actually mixing them in with the soil. This is actually what I'm doing. So this is a low budget food forest I'm creating this year. I'm not planning to spend any money at all this season in this garden. No money at all. Hey, food forest, shout out to you, man. What's going on? So what I'm actually doing here, I'm actually creating banks. These banks that I'm creating them for 2025 garden season. So I'm prepping, I'm preparing, and I'm also barricading the area that I'm growing food because of the deers. So right now, this is a garden that I'm gonna be growing this season without spending any money. No manual, no money on compost, no money on manual, none of that. I'm gonna naturally use the resources I have on this area and turn it into a food forest that you guys can see. So make sure you follow me. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to this channel because we have a lot to show. We're gonna create a food forest without spending a dime. We already start to grow our fruit trees from seed. All right, so we're not trying to spend no money. All right. Counting raindrops and waiting on my ride. All right, all right. Good to see you, man. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you here. So now, if you notice, you're gonna see what's going on here. We actually using this type of leaf and we mixing it in our soil. This is the right time to do it because by the time the spring hit, these gonna already start breaking down into the soil, help feeding your plant on the journey. I'm gonna show you in a minute exactly what I'm doing, all right? Yes, nice, yes. I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. This is an old fork. This is a real old fork. One of these old antique fork. but it works really well. So what I'm doing, I'm mixing in the leaf, the grass, the dry grass into the soil. So this is actually free compost I'm adding to the garden. So if you have these things in your garden, now is the time to go out in the garden and mix it into the soil. So by the time the spring comes, already start breaking down. So all during the summer, during the fall, these things gonna be breaking down and feeding your plants, so you don't have to buy. So this is gonna be a low budget food forest. I'm gonna be creating this garden season, and I'm not spending a dime. All right. I'm turning the soil, guys. I'm actually turning the soil. All right. This is an area, in this area right here, this is an area where I used to plant Tanya. But this year, I'm gonna be planting cabbage, comes up in this area here. Then I'm gonna, after the cabbage, when I harvest the cabbage, I'm gonna plant some okra right in this area here. I'm preparing the banks them really thick. So the way I'm preparing the banks them, the plants could grow, produce a lot of roots. All right. The banks them is pretty thick, so the plants them will produce a lot of root, because it's very important to create a big root system on every plant. The bigger the system is, you stand a chance of harvesting way more than you think. All right, food. Really, food price? Wow. Wow. Yeah, you're right. It's, man, it's a beautiful, it's a real, this is a real antique pick. Real antique, yes. Someone gave it to me, because I know they know I do this type of work, and someone gave it to me about a few years ago, and I'm trying my best to take care of it, because you're not gonna find these type of peck these days. Yeah. The soil is just amazing. The soil is amazing. Let me give you an idea of what I'm actually doing. This is what I'm doing here. I'm digging these banks out and just leave them here for the garden season next spring. I'm planning to plant some cabbage here. So now, if I prepare the soil now and leave the soil, it's gonna definitely be ready. I'm also creating the drainage as well, because the drainage is what gonna take the water out of your garden instead of running it through. So I'm not doing too much raised bed today. This season I'm actually creating more beds this year. If you notice down here, you're gonna see I had beds down here. These beds is what I planted Edos last year. You see, these are beds. Not beds, rows. Sorry for that, guys. These are rows. And it's rows I'm actually creating here right now. So all in this area here, there's a lot of Edos that are gonna be coming back next garden season. But my thing today is, this area was just Edos. Edo Tanya is what I used to plant. Now I'm actually using this area to grow something different. All right. Now is the right time, guys. You want to have a productive garden? Now is the right time to spin your soil. So in the spring, it's just going to be there waiting for you to come and plant whatever you want to plant. But now is the right time to get everything going. Hey Dark Lumen, how you doing? What's up? Keep up the layering of bioma. I love it. Thank you, thank you. Yes, guys, this is how I've been doing this garden for over 10 years now. If you notice, I've been growing food over 10 years here, and the production never changed, because this is what I keep doing every year. I keep maintaining my soil so that my garden will always be successful. Look how the soil, you could see the soil. The soil is pretty rich and dark. So what I'm actually doing, I'm mixing the leaf. I'm actually mixing the leaf into the soil. All right, let me bring it up a little more and show you guys more of what I'm doing. All right, so I'm gonna bring it up here and I'm gonna give you a more. If you notice, guys, if you notice on the ground, you're gonna see the leaf that's on the ground. Let me show you. All these leaves, if you notice, watch here, right? You see what's on the ground? This is on the ground. So all I'm doing, I'm taking this and I'm mixing it into the soil. When you mix this into the soil, it's break down way faster. All right, so this is how you create a low budget food forest, because you're using what you have. And then when you're ready to plant, now is the time you got to start get the soil. Let me give you guys a little trick. When you set in seed, if you want to really have a successful garden, right? Here what you do. You comes out and you grab the soil from wherever you go in and plant the seed. So say for instance you go in and plant cabbage right here. What you do, you take the soil from right here and plant the cabbage. Set the seed in the same soil. So when you bring out the plants now, the plants already adjust to this type of soil. This is really important, guys. This is what you call program seed. Programming seed is basically giving them the same soil that they're going to be growing. They're growing into. Set the seed into the same soil. So when you do that, these things take off in the spring. You wouldn't have to worry. They will actually take off. All right? So now I'm going on. Now, this area, this is the soil. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this soil and set my seed. So I'm using the same soil that they're going to be growing into and set the seed. These are real serious tricks in gardening. If you know these things, your garden will be very successful. All right? You see, earthworm. You see the earthworm is down inside there. So all the leaf is getting mixed in to the soil. Yes, cabbage will really do well in this type of soil. Cabbage will do beautiful. So let me give you another peep again, guys. As you see, notice what I'm doing. All this is leaf. Watch. You see where all this is? All this is leaf. And now, notice what I'm doing. I'm mixing it. You see, I'm turning over. I'm actually turning over the soil and cover the leaf. Watch out. So all the leaf you see was there, I cover them. So this is actually free manure, free compost that you're using for your plants. You ain't got to pay for anything once you're doing what I'm doing here. This will feed your soil for years. In this little space of time, I have created a nice little area for me to grow some food. Nice little area. So these videos, guys, is to basically encourage the people who want to learn and who interested in growing food this type of way. Growing food natural. Alright? This is a successful way. I'm telling you right now, this is a very successful way of gardening. You preparing your garden in the fall. You allowing the winter to pass over your garden. Then you allow the spring to come in and do the magic. The ending of winter into spring, there's a magic create in the soil where everything that went to sleep, all right, Sam Cooker, all right, anything that went to sleep wakes up. So you want to be ready. You want to have your soil ready and prepare for that time. So when that magic happen, you in your garden planting and your food them just ready to grow. You don't want to wait till springtime to now getting out there trying to get compost. You holding back your own self. Start now. It doesn't matter if you're using container. Start now. Leave it in the container. Allow the winter to pass over it. Let that magic happen in the spring. All right? You don't want to be breaking up soil and all this kind of stuff in the, preparing soil in the spring. You want to be planting, especially for the people who have a short growing season. You want to be planting in that time. I understand the people who have the winter and the snow. That's understandable. But the people who do not have to deal with that type of weather, you should be ahead. You should be ahead of time preparing now, because a lot of people, soil don't even freeze. Like people in zone 7, zone 8, zone 9, soil don't freeze. So look at me right now. In zone 8, soil is beautiful. So you should be out here preparing your garden for the garden season. This is how you get production. This is how things work for you. This is how your plants them grow and produce in abundance, by being ahead, not procrastinating and waiting for the last minute to get out in the garden. Your plants will make you happy. All right? Sometimes it drop in the 40s in zone 9. In the 40s is still good, because in the 40s you're not getting freeze. And that's what's important. Once the soil is not freezing, you can get out there and prepare your soil. You see what I know I was doing? I was mixing my soil with the leaf, the grass. I was mixing it. Now we have January, February, March. We have 4 months for these things to start breaking down. While the months is going, they're going to be breaking down and releasing. All up in the summer, they're going to be breaking down and releasing nutrients. Because remember, our plant need nutrients, because the nutrients is what help it push out roots, leaf, a lot of leaf, and a lot of food. All right? So this going to be a short life today. But guys, stay tuned. Don't forget, keep following this channel. Don't forget to hit that like button. If you haven't, guys, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to this channel, because we have a lot to show. And we show live from our garden. It's like we have a garden class going on, and we show you from the beginning to harvest. Now is the time we're prepping our soil. Now is the time we're getting everything intact. And after that, what we're going to do? Allow the soil to relax. Then in the spring is when we're going to get out here busy. And don't forget, guys, set your seed. Start getting prepared to set your seed. So on that day of planting day, your plant's going to be ready. The soil will be waiting for your plants, not the plant waiting for the soil. You see what I'm saying? Get your soil together now, especially if you're in zone 8, 9, 10 and these areas. Get your soil together so you could have a successful garden season. Thank you guys for watching, guys. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you guys. Happy gardening each and every one. And don't forget, guys, now is the time to get busy in the garden. Thank you all.